So many people spend years or decades building a layout, and when the layout is finally finished, instead of being happy and excited, they want to redo it. Because we often feel like we did a decent job, but deep down we know we could do a much better job with the skills we acquired while building the layout. Now, that can be a good or a bad thing depending on your goals, but more on this later. In this video I want to give you some tips, tricks and inspiration to do ground cover using real dirt. And I also want to talk a bit about the advantages of making small scenery bases like this that doesn't have a real purpose. I've noticed many people when building a layout focus so much of their effort on the benchwork and track laying, and when that's done, they build a mountain. But then, when all the obvious things to do are done, and it's time for scenery, you suddenly feel overwhelmed by all the different options that the scenery aspect of a layout presents you with. We think we know how to make something realistic, be it ground cover, grass fields, trees, rocks, roads or anything we see every day, but when we start bringing our ideas to reality, something just feels off. But we don't really know what's wrong with it. And that's because we all kind of suck at a certain skill called observation. In everyday life, our brains filter out a lot of details because most of them don't matter for our survival. But when we try to recreate something from real life, that filter works against us. Let's say you're modeling a bare dirt area. If you just apply some sand, it's not gonna look realistic. That's because nature is full of variation and randomness. And our brains are terrible at creating randomness. We tend to overthink and try to make things perfect. That's why I like practicing scenery on small bases like this. There is no pressure to get it right, and you can experiment without worrying about ruining part of the layout. Maybe the first attempt looks okay, but if I go for a walk and actually look at the type of ground I'm trying to recreate, I will notice things I completely missed before. Color shifts, texture changes, little tufts of grass and how the dirt blends into surroundings. I know the dirt is kind of a weird example, but that's what I'm doing in this video. So it's not just about practicing or learning a new technique, it's about learning how to practice. Practicing in a way that trains you to notice more. Observation is one of the most important and most underrated skills in model railroading, but also just in life in general. And there's another side to it too, knowing what not to include. Because trying to copy reality perfectly often looks less realistic as a model. Simplifying the right parts is also something many pros are very good at. So don't worry about chasing a specific technique or secret method. For me, it's all about getting better at learning and training my brain to notice more every time I model. By the way, let me know if you like this style of video and if you'd like to see more like this. That's what I love about this hobby. Every little project teaches you something new, if you pay attention. So if you're feeling stuck or unsure where to start with scenery, I highly suggest that you try this and practice on small scenery bases like this so you don't have the pressure to do it on the layout your first try. You will not only gain confidence to do scenery, but you will also have a much nicer layout and hopefully enjoy the process a lot more with less stress and pressure to not mess it up. Thanks for watching.